Hello, this is Schedulytics. Welcome to today's session. Today's session is the second of Schedulytics introductory videos, which among other things explores the JASP interface. In our previous video, we looked at the importance of statistical tools in research, some common statistical tools, and successfully installed JASP. In this short video, we would focus on the main menu of JASP. We would also look at some unique features of JASP interface. And what is more, there is an assignment after the review. So our encouragement to you still remains, stay till the end of the video. Today's practical session is taken from the book Statistical Analysis in JASP, a Guide for Students, written by Mark A. Gosh. In the preface of that book, he helped us to see the full meaning of JASP. He says, JASP stands for Jeffrey's Amazing Statistics Program. And this was in recognition of the pioneer of Bayesian inference, Sir H. Jeffreys. Now, let us see the various menus on the JASP platform. Good. So if we have our JASP platform launched, as usual, this is how the interface would appear. Now, at the top left corner, we find the menu. So we have open, save, save as, export results, export data, sync data, close, preferences, and about. Now you realize that in this section of the menu, only open is active. The others aren't active because there is no data set that is being opened. Now when you press the open, you have options to load your data from either a recent file, your computer, or Open Science Framework, or the data library. Now, for the sake of this practical demonstration, we want to open the data from the data library. And so we'll click on descriptives. Now, this data file is named sleep, and it has information that captures the number of additional hours that each of 10 patients slept after having been administered 2 soporific drugs. And these soporific drugs can be called sleeping pills. Great, so our data is open. So this is the data. The extra, we have the group and then the ID. Now let's go back to our menu to see if the other options will this time be active. Great. So as we can all see, they are now active. That is to say, without any data set loaded, these options will not be active. Now we want to take the time to see what each of these options does. The open, as we have established, helps to load any data set in different formats. So the formats that JASP supports includes CSV, that is Excel, and then it can also support SAV, SPSS. Now the save and the save as option helps us to save our data sets or analysis, as well as annotations that were performed on the platform. The export results option helps us to export our results either in HTML file or as a PDF. Now, export data also helps us to export our data either in CSV file or TXT file, among others. Now, the sync data is simply synchronize. So what it helps us to do is that it helps us to update our current data file. So in situation where you have added information to your current file, the sync data helps you to update it. And a shortcut to doing that is Control-Y. So Control+Y helps us to sync our data. And the close option, as we all know, helps us to exit the current data sets, but not the platform. So here is asking us save changes to file sleep before closing. Save, don't save, or cancel. So we cancel it in order to still maintain our data. Now the next option or category of the menu that we have is preferences. Now preferences present 4 sections that helps users like you and I to tweak the JASP interface to suit our needs. Now these sections include data, results, inference, and then advanced preferences. We are going to walk ourselves through each of these sections, but not in details. Now, the first one, the data preferences. Now, it will interest you to note that the icon here says that show info about these preferences. Now, when you click on it, it gives you more information about what data preferences are, and you can read these to enlighten yourself. However, for the sake of this video, we'll keep it simple as much as possible so that we can make progress. So the data preference section allows you to synchronize or update your data automatically when the data file is saved. Now, it also has an option that allows you to set the default spreadsheet editor, that is to say Excel or SPSS. And then it also helps you to change the threshold so that the JASP is more readily distinguished between nominal and then scale data. And finally, it helps you to add a custom missing value code. So in a situation where you have a missing value, how would it capture it? NA dash, NAN, or NAN capital. So these are what the data preferences helps one to achieve. More information can be obtained here, and so that is part of the assignments that we would all want to undertake. Now, the results section allows the users like you and I to set our JASP to return exact p-values. And that is to say, for example, instead of JASP stating a p-value as less than 0.001, it should return an exact value, say 0.00024. Now, it also helps us to set or fix the number of decimals for the data in tables. So here you can set and fix the number of decimal points, whether 3 decimal points, 2 decimal points, or it should be a whole number. The plot option also helps us to change the pixel resolution of the graph plots. And then also helps us to select when copying graphs, whether they have a white or a transparent background. So whether our graph should have a transparent background or white. Now the interface preferences also helps us to select or define our fonts and pick different themes. That is not all. We can also select our preferred languages. But currently, JASP supports just 3 languages, which is English, German, and then Dutch. These are the only 3 languages that are supported. Now, the advanced preferences most users, like you and I, will prefer to have it in a default format. And so we wouldn't make any changes to it. So assignment that we spoke about is for each and every viewer of this tutorial to take his or her time and adjust all these preferences. And as you do, comment on the comment section, which one suits your special preference and why. Now, one unique feature about JASP is highlighted in the book Statistical Analysis in JASP, a guide for students. It says, and I quote, "In contrast to many statistical packages, JASP provides a simple drag and drop interface, easy access menus, intuitive analysis with real-time computation, and display of all results." This is one uniqueness, one unique feature of JASP. Now let's see what this is talking about. So this was the data that we loaded, the descriptive data on sleep. So this is the statistical analysis interface. And then this is the concomitant results section, or the results view. So they have the analysis view, and then we have the results view. Now, the book stated that it gives a real-time analysis. So let's assume that we are adding a parameter to the variables in this the analysis section. You realize that as we are adding the variable, the results section is changed. So when you observe here, we have extra and ID stratified into groups group 1 and group 2. Now let's take out extra and see what happens to the result here. The results presented excludes extra. Now let's return it, and it gives a real-time analysis. So this is one advantage or unique feature that JASP has compared to other statistical packages, as highlighted in the book. You can also adjust by dragging to have the data view. So we have the data here, the analysis, and then the results. This is one unique feature of JASP. So your assignments, as we discussed, try to change the preference of your interface and then try to manipulate any data sets that you have by importing it into JASP and trying to do a real-time analysis with it. Thank you very much for being patient with us. Thank you for learning something with us, especially on the interface of JASP today. So today we were able to look at the interface of JASP. We came to see the open, the save as, the export, the sync, close, the preference options of JASP. And we came to see how unique JASP is in helping us achieve our analysis. We would want to end here, and we thank you all for learning, for choosing to learn with JASP. Until we meet again in our next video, where we walk you through how our videos will be presented, it is a bye.